The first lesson of our English curriculum is The Last Lesson by Alphonse Daudet. Oh my god. Okay, so now this story is set back at the time when there was Franco-Prussian War going on, okay? At this time, France was defeated by Prussia, and in this story, we see the French districts that are Alsace and Lorraine. They've passed into Prussian hands, and let us see how people of that place react. So there was a little guy, Franz, in that place, and he used to go to school, and today was his test and participles, and he had not studied a single word about them. Oh my god, do we study about our test? Why would he? For the same manner. So he was running late and was running to the school. But as he went outdoors, it was so tempting. The birds were flying, it was such a good weather. And for once he thought of not going to school and just staying outside in such a good weather. But then he resisted himself and he was like, no, I'll go. And then as he crossed, he saw that there was a whole crowd at the bulletin board. Now, what is the bulletin board? It's a board where they used to get all the bad news from. Whenever they used to lose a battle, a new draft used to come, or the commanding officer used to set new orders from them. Every news he would get from the bulletin board. And he thought to himself, what can be the matter now? But he did not have time because it was already late, so he went to school. And usually, how is school? It's like a fish market, we all run here to there, and we do not let the teacher rest in peace. Okay? You should not also. Okay, fine. Now there is a great bustle, right? Everybody's making noise. Somebody is putting the desks in. Somebody is taking the chairs out, and everybody just repeats the lesson in the entire unison, like A, B, C, D, and everybody sings it. And some people who actually want to hear, they put their hands over their ears in order to hear the teacher instead of the students. And teachers with the ruler as usual of every class. Okay. But when we expect something, does it happen? No. So today also the class was as quiet as it used to be on Sunday morning. But he had planned to go because of the commotion without getting seen. Commotion means the noise and confusion. Okay. So because there would be so confusion, so I thought I'll just step into the class and nobody will get to know because it was already late. But today it was so quiet, like Sunday morning. Okay, everything was so still. Today's classmates were already in place. Today's teacher was walking up and down with the ruler, and he could completely see who's coming in, who's coming out. Oh my god, just think what went through this little boy, man. Okay, so next, now he was so ashamed because he was already late, and now he feared his teacher is going to scold him in front of everyone, and everyone's going to be so ashamed in him because he's so late to school. But whenever we think something, nothing like that happens, right? So his teacher politely said to him, go to your place quickly, little Franz, we were beginning without you. And he was like, what? But then he noticed his teacher's clothes. His teacher was wearing a beautiful green coat, frilled shirt, little black silk cap, and everything was embroidered. Okay, and these were like his best clothes, and he only wore those on prize and inspection days. And today he was like, why is my teacher wearing so good clothes? And after that, he was most shocked to see. Okay, what happens at our back benches? They're usually empty, or the naughty kids of the class are sitting there, right? But here, the elder men of the village were sitting in the back bench. Like, can you imagine going to your class and seeing the village elder people sitting there? Oh my god, we can't even imagine that's going to happen. So just imagine they were sitting there, and the old Hauser, he's the farmer, he was sitting there, the former mayor, the former postmaster, they all were sitting there. And he was just wondering, why are all of them sitting there? Then his teacher, M. Hamel, said, my children, this is the last lesson that I'll give to you. The order has come from Berlin to teach only German in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. The new master comes tomorrow. This is your last French lesson. I want you to be very attentive. Now, these words were a thunderclap, dhum ta na 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 na, dhere na situation for him. Oh my god, last lesson? Okay, and now he understood this was the news at the bulletin board of the town hall. That is why everybody was so gathered around there. And okay, let's just imagine we are in India and Bangladesh captures us and they tell, okay, from tomorrow you all are not going to study Hindi. There's going to be no Hindi absolutely for anybody. Now your language just changed to Bengali and everybody got to study Bengali. How would we react, right? Even if we hate Hindi, even if we hate the teacher, we would be so, oh my god, how can you take our language away from us kind of situation, right? So same was with him. It was his last French lesson and he hardly knew how to write. So Franz was feeling so sorry because he did not learn his lessons. Today also he had a test and participles, if we remember. And oh my god, we know today also he did not study as usual. Do we? No, right? Now get serious for your mother language, guys. Okay, I know none of you will, but okay. And the books that he had, that had seemed such a nuisance, so heavy to carry. He did not want to carry those books. Now they were like his old friends, and he did not want to give up on his books because from the idea that from tomorrow there are going to be, no French lessons. And M. Hamill, he thought he was a very cranky, means very ill-tempered teacher, but now he also started seeming nice to little Franz. Okay, now he understands the irony, okay, why he had put on the best clothes. He had put it in the honor because he was giving the last lesson. And why the old men are sitting here? Old men are sitting here because they were sorry, okay? Because his master, they had given 40 years of service to the school. Can you imagine 40 years? And they were showing their respect towards the country, their language, the old men of the village. That is why they had come to attend the French lesson. And when he was thinking all this, he heard his name called to recite the lesson on participles. Today they have the test on participles, right? But he gave his best efforts to say the lesson of participles loud and clear without one mistake. But he got mixed up because he did not study. Okay, but after that, his teacher told, I will not scold you, little Franz, because today you yourself are feeling bad enough. Because we saw already, because he was feeling bad enough, now his old books became his friends. And then he said a line. How is it you pretend to be Frenchman, yet you can neither speak nor write in your own language? He said that Prussians are going to say them this. Okay, he said this to the entire class, not only to Franz. And then he said, we all have to blame ourselves with, okay, little Franz, not only you, his parents, because sometimes they prefer to have him work on the farms or the mills instead of your, just so that they could have a little more money. And his teacher, M. Hamill, whenever he wanted to go fishing, he just gave his students a holiday. And sometimes M. Hamill, he also sent them to water his flowers. Wow, I wish my teacher could send me to water my flowers instead of having me sit and recite lessons in the class. Okay, and now all the people of Alsace it mean, because they were not serious towards their learning of their mother tongue. Okay, and then he says, then he goes on to say the beauty of French, his teacher. He says that French is the most beautiful language, the clearest and the most logical language in the world. And he has a very important line. When people are enslaved, as long as they hold fast to the language, it is as if they have the key to their prison. What does it mean? It means that if you've been enslaved and you've been told to forget German and forget French and only to speak in German, yet if you keep French inside your heart alive, okay, it's the only way out of your prison. Okay, you can become free again through the use of your language. And if a person knows his mother tongue well, you cannot enslave him. Mother tongue is telling it's a tool to fight the domination. Okay, so it's very important, guys. After that, they had a lesson in grammar. Okay, and today Franz understood everything in grammar because he listened so patiently. Today he wanted to actually take the knowledge. Okay, every day he just came to school for the sake of school, the reason why we all go. Exactly. And today his teacher, he also taught them so politely, so patiently, everything. It was like the teacher wanted to give these kids all the knowledge that he had, everything at one stroke. But definitely it's not possible, right? Okay, so next they had a lesson in writing where they all wrote France, alas, France, alas, France, alas in the notebooks. And it was like the air of patriotism was going on in the class. Everybody was so, patriotism means Desh Bhakti, okay? And the notebooks, they were looking like the flags of France that were floating all around. And class was so busy writing, like they were not paying heed to anything external that was coming in, like a beetle flew in once. Okay, and we know whenever the beetle flows in, everyone starts overacting, especially. Okay, I won't mention. Fine. Now, what happened next in the upstairs, the pigeons were cooing, and then Franz, he said a thing. He said, will they make them sing in German too, even the pigeons? This is a very ironic line. Please kindly remember it, guys. It does come in exam every time. So, okay. And now, what does this mean here? This means that the Prussian forces, they cannot, force the pigeon also to coo in German. It means that language, it comes naturally to a being, and it cannot be forced on you, be it pigeon on the Frenchman. Now, if it's a pigeon, if it coos, you cannot tell, okay, bark, because today you are under the colony of dogs, right? So if you are French, you cannot be asked to speak in German because today you are under the territory of Germany. Okay. And then he saw his teacher, M. Hamill. He was, motionless. He was like, I don't know how to react. And he was just looking at everything as if he wanted to fix that picture up in his head. Okay. He had been in this school since 40 years. Okay. 40 years, can you imagine? And only the desks had, worn out due to overuse during that time. Like they were used so much, so much. 40 years, can you imagine how huge a time it is? And the walnut trees that he had seen grew so much taller, and the hop vine that he had planted himself, it started coming up to the roof. Okay, and then Franz was thinking how broken heart M. Hamill would be right now to leave this all apart. And they could hear his sister because she was packing upstairs, and M. Hamill and his sister, they were going to leave the country the next day. And then followed by a lesson in history. Then they had a lesson in history, then in phonetics, and in that they all recited the sound of alphabets like ba, be, be, bo, boo. And Franz here refers to the class as babies because although they were grown up, they were reciting ba, be, be, bo, boo. That's generally done by younger children. Okay, and after that he saw old Hauser. Okay, he was putting on a primer, he was holding primer, that's the early book for kids, and he is holding it in both his hands, and he was crying and still speaking ba baby boo boo. And it was so funny to see how an old man like him, like he's crying also and he's studying also, and he's reciting also, and same as the condition with this Franz, he also wanted to laugh and he wanted to cry. That was his last French lesson. Then the clock struck 12. The school got over. This was all about French in their lives. Okay. Then after school gets over, we have national anthem. So they also had Angelus. They called it as Angelus. And then they heard Prussian shoulders going. And then he saw M. Hamill. He became so dull, so colorless. He stood straight and he was motionless. He couldn't do anything. And here he referred to him as, at that moment, he looked so tall. He does not actually mean the physical tall, okay? He means that he looked so, Franz suddenly developed a respect for M. Hamill that he never had, okay? From the idea that he was, from now never again going to meet this teacher who dedicated so much to teach them France since 40 years. And M. Hamill looked more confident and also so motionless. And then M. Hamill said, he wanted to say something, so he said, my friends, I. But he could not continue further, and then he just turned to the blackboard, took a piece of chalk, and wrote, Vive la France. That means long live France. And then he stopped, he put his hand against the wall, and then without saying a word, he said, School is dismissed, you may go. Kids, you also may go. Bye bye.